Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If Gemini is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Here we start with a Queen of Cups. You're somebody that feels things very, very deeply. Okay. You are sensitive. I think usually you're fairly stoic. I think you sort of tend toward intellectual things. You tend toward analysis and calculations and facts and data and stuff, but you really are a sensitive person. You feel things. Okay. You don't always reveal what you feel. Yeah. The Queen of Cups is all about emotional transparency. It's about emotional honesty, emotional intelligence. It's about radical self-acceptance and self-love. It's not saying that you have to reveal to everybody how you feel about them, right? Sometimes you might want to, but this is about acknowledging how you feel to yourself. Okay, lifting the veil of your own emotion, of your own depth. Okay, I wonder if there's a feeling that there should be more, Maybe we're swimming kind of towards the surface of the water a little bit. Maybe we need to look deeper. What is it that is really within you that wants to come forth, right? What is that really sort of unique life form that lives at the depths, that wants to get its picture taken, right? That wants to be in a documentary. Yeah. I feel like there's something in you that you're trying to figure out what it is. I feel like there's a feeling in there. Maybe there's a knot. Maybe it feels like there's just something going on, something going on in you, and it's just like we're trying to maybe identify it or put a name on it, right? Label it in some way. Okay, maybe it doesn't really need a label or a name. Maybe it just needs our acknowledgement. Yeah, let's see. Okay, we're going to put this card into some context. We're going to see what else is going on here. We've got, Empress. Well, the Empress with the Queen of Cups, usually would talk about there being an older female energy. Maybe there's something going on with mom. I feel like in this case, it's kind of like you gotta sort of mom yourself, And sometimes we all need that. And sometimes we just really have to take care of ourselves, kind of say, we're not feeling so good today. I'm going to stay in bed today. It's okay. It's okay to feel that there's something going on, that there's something, it's not right, it's not wrong, it's just something different. There's a feeling there that I'm not sure, what to call it, or what it's trying to tell me, or where it's leading me, right? But with that Empress card, we need to give space and time to ourselves to feel what we feel. Okay, let's keep going. We have that's fixed. We have the fixed air energy with the Prince of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, Seven of Swords, and Ten of Pentacles. It kind of feels like your own internal Empress, right, is and your Queen of Wands is sort of leading you to your best life. But in order to get there, we're going through this period of doubt. See, we're going through this period of intense, this unidentifiable feeling. And then, of course, the thoughts and maybe the doubts that it raises. Okay? And it could be the feeling that, something needs to change in our life, but there's sort of a reluctance to do that. We're not sure what that feeling means. See, with the Seven of Swords, we're on a straight path, but there's all these doubts coming in. We're having different thoughts. We're having different ideas. We're looking in different directions, even though we're still on that straight path. And underneath everything, you've got this fixed air energy, which is trying to keep you on that straight path, even though there's something telling you, hey, your path is taking you in a different direction. Okay? We have to at least give space and time for this feeling so that we can get to know it, find out what it's telling you, because it is trying to help you get to your best life. Okay? We're going to put the rest of our cards out. We got 2 of Cups. There it is. There's the 10 of Swords. An 8 of Cups and Prince of Wands. The fixed fire energy, fixed air here, right? We're kind of we're stuck in a belief. We're stuck on this, maybe we feel kind of stuck on this path, right? But now we've got that card. This is the card of action. This is a committed action now. And it's the first appearance of the fire energy too. We're here at the end. So I feel like all of this is your heart, and mind, trying to figure out how to fulfill our destiny, how to stay on this wheel of fortune and get our very best life. How to benefit from this, the sense of destiny, how to benefit from fate, how to get our best life, how to manifest our goals, our will, our future, whatever it might be, right? Very interesting. The heart and the mind, there's something going on there that we need to give space to. You need to be able to sort of, in some ways, like nurture this feeling. Allow it to grow, allow it to become stronger so that you can get to know it. We don't have to push it down. You don't have to push it down into the depths where it's just we try to ignore it, because we can't ignore it, I don't think. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here and put our mechanical owl on top of this. Bobo, I think. I'm trying to name it the owl, the mechanical owl from the Perseus movie in the 60s, the Clash of the Titans. I think it's Bobo. I don't know. Help me out here. I don't have time to Google it at the moment. But we're not going to look at that card until the end. It will tie everything together and give us our confirmation. If you have a prediction for that card, drop it down in the comments. All right. Let's take a look around the room. First thing we notice, our only major arcana card is the Empress. We've got to really nurture ourselves, right? We've got to take care of us. Self-care, self-love, radical self-acceptance. This feeling that you're feeling, even though, with the 7 of Swords, it kind of is like, maybe you feel guilty for having these other feelings. Don't feel guilty. It's a feeling. You got to give it room. You got to nurture it and really try to identify, try to figure out what it's telling you. We don't really have to put a name to it or label it, but we want to recognize it and acknowledge it. We've got to give it some space, let the feeling grow a little bit, because it's trying to show you something. It's trying to tell you something. Yeah. Anyway, so we've got our 1 major arcana energy. We have a little bit of fire at the end. We got 2 majors. Sorry, I misspoke. The Wheel of Fortune and the Empress. We're trying to realize our fate, our destiny, and our best life, right? And so we have to give space to what we're feeling right now, because our feelings are sort of our internal compass in a way, So majors, anyway, we've got fire, we've got water, we've got air, and it's all leading to the earth. Okay? And the thing about the fire and the earth is that it is the electrical circuit of manifestation, right? Fire to earth, heaven to earth, above to below, inside to outside, impulse to behavior, will to action, inspiration to implementation. Right? Fire to earth is that spiritual electrical circuit of manifestation, of creation. Yeah. And it needs a conductor. And what conducts that is, of course, our human heart and mind. Either conducts it or it impedes it. right? Sometimes our hearts and minds are not all that great of a conductor, okay? And if there is some sort of a blockage, if there is some sort of an issue there, that we're not conducting that will, that we're not acting in the way that's manifesting our best life, we've got to give some room to that. We've got to find out, what is that saying? What is that feeling I got? And where is it pointing me? What is Spirit trying to say to me? Yeah, so that we can get this manifestation of our very best life. The Ten of Pentacles, I mean, that is everything, right? The Ten of Pentacles contains every other card. Every other card. Okay. I feel like you had to sort of grow up fast. And I wonder if with the Empress card here, if you kind of had to play the role of, the sort of the caregiver to others. Maybe when you were growing up, you took care of your siblings. Maybe you took care of your parents. I feel like you kind of grew up fast and you had responsibilities at a very early age. You had to mature very quickly, and you had to sort of take responsibility at a young age, younger than like maybe now you kind of feel like a kid shouldn't have to, do those things, right? To take that kind of a responsibility for others. But anyway, I feel like you did. And I feel like it's sort of influenced you to put your needs sort of on the back burner. So it's been difficult for you, Queen of Cups. It's been difficult for you to give space to your own feelings, your own needs, your own desires, your own issues, your own thoughts, your own soul, I feel like now it's time for you to start giving attention to yourself, your internal environment, your internal landscape. What is Spirit trying to tell you? You've got that Wheel of Fortune behind you. And Spirit's trying to sort of nudge you toward your destiny. But there's some sort of heart and mind interference with that electrical circuit. Okay. So I feel now this Empress energy is saying you've got to give yourself the priority. You've got to prioritize your own sort of state of mind and the own condition of your heart and figure out what it's trying to tell you and what you need and what your path is, what your best life is. Maybe this is a situation where what was once your best life picture, right, this Ten of Pentacles, maybe you're realizing that something's different now. And maybe this isn't what you really want. Well, we're not sure. We just know that we have some kind of a new feeling about this. Maybe this is a feeling like, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to identify it. It could be that we're not sure if this is really it anymore. We're not sure if we like this picture of sort of where we're headed. Yeah. So you've got this fixed air energy underneath everything. This is the Prince of Swords. I feel like this is us at one time believing this was our path, and so we got married to it. We promised it. We hitched our wagon to that star, right? And that's it. Not gonna. And see, this is also the Aquarius energy. It's Aquarius power card, that fixed air energy, right? Like the sign of Aquarius, which is the star card, So I feel like this was that time in your life where you knew what your path was. You knew the life that you wanted and what it looked like, what the details were, the color of the wallpaper, and how many trees you had in your backyard, right? Who you were with, what you were doing, all that kind of stuff. But I wonder if now there's a feeling like it's not the same anymore, And with that might come a little bit of guilt, or this kind of weird, maybe it's like an icky feeling, that is just like, almost like you're betraying yourself or something, because like, this is what I always wanted, but now it's like, if I'm honest, if I'm really transparent with myself, I don't know that I want it anymore. Well, that's okay. That's why we need this radical self-love, radical self-acceptance. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. If you're having some doubts or some questions or some Maybe we need to reevaluate this future, right? We've got the Seven of Swords up at the top. So this is you trying to maintain, I'm just going to focus. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing because this was the path I chose. This felt absolutely right at some point. I just need to keep doing it and just ignore these feelings, but they keep nagging at you like these little needles, jabbing at you. Spirit's also saying there's some connection with food or with the restaurant industry or some sort of hospitality business for you. I don't know if you work in food or you work at like hotels or something like that, yeah? So in some sense, you're still taking care of people, right? If we're having these nagging thoughts and feelings, we shouldn't feel guilty about it. What we should do is look at them and have a conversation with ourselves and say, what is it that I feel and why do I feel it? What is it trying to tell me? Okay. And I think really it's all part of this Wheel of Fortune. It's all part of this sense of destiny. I think, with the Wheel of Fortune in the past position, I kind of feel not that things have been easy for you. I don't think things have been easy for you. But I think there's been a certain sort of, a sense of destiny. There's been a certain rhythm to life. It kind of feels like things happen and it's just kind of like you are guided along your path and you feel like you're kind of being pushed from behind and it's just, you understand the reason for everything or you have the awareness that everything happens for a reason. And so it feels kind of effortless. Now, I'm not saying it was easy. You've been through difficult times, good times, bad times, right? And sometimes you've been on the bottom of the wheel, between the rubber and the road. And other times you've been on top and you just kind of, you're able to take everything in stride because you've always had this sense of Spirit is kind of guiding you forward to what you're meant to do and where you're meant to go. But now we run into this wall of water and air. Now we run into this here and it's kind of like, wait, I feels like something's off, Maybe it feels that somehow we got off of the track of destiny or that we kind of don't feel that we're being pushed by Spirit anymore. It's kind of like we don't feel that hand on our back kind of pushing us forward. It's like Spirit's kind of let go and we're just floating in zero gravity going straight on this course. But there's this feeling like, who's in control now? You imagine if you're in space, right? And we see this in movies and everything. And there's some sort of a force. And you're in zero gravity. You're in spacewalking, right? You're out here in the vacuum of space. And you get a force. You get pushed. And you're going in a certain direction. Nothing is going to stop you. You can flail all you want. You're not changing course. Until another force nudges you in a different direction, pushes you somewhere else, right? And that's kind of, that's to me, that's the scariest thing about being in space is that you're sitting there floating at whatever kind of, velocity, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing for you to push against. There's nothing for you to swim against, And that's the feeling that I get for you right now. And so there's that feeling. It's almost like, it's not panic, but it kind of feels like it might turn into panic pretty soon when the more we realize that, hey, no one's in control anymore. It doesn't feel as if Spirit is the one pushing you anymore and there's really nothing that you can do. It's almost like, this kind of even looks like it, that we're sort of swimming against, trying to find something to grab onto to either stop our movement or to get us back to where we're supposed to be going. It kind of feels a little bit lost in space. Okay, very good show. Even the new one was good. Anyway, so we've got to explore this. We've got to find out what this is trying to say. And the 10 of Pentacles is the picture of your best life. This doesn't have to be the same. In fact, with the 10 of Pentacles, the details of this very often change. What is your best life? And this, back in the day, I would have asked you, get out a sheet of paper. Can you draw a picture of your best life? Or if you're like me, you can't draw for shit, just make a list, write it down, what are the top 10 things in your life that sort of will go into this picture? Okay, and if you would have drawn this, let's say 2 years ago, it looked a certain way. But if you draw it now, don't think about it, just draw. What would it look like? Don't think about it. The more you think about it, I think the more we start getting into this mentalizing energy, and we start to draw what we think we should draw, rather than what your Queen of Cups, your heart, is really telling you. We draw what we think we're supposed to draw. And maybe we need to do some exercises like this, some spontaneous kind of thing. Like if, I'm going to ask you a question, I want you to answer it spontaneously, as quick as you can. Don't hesitate. What do you want in life? I don't know. I would pause. I'd intellectualize it, because that's what I do too. I'm not saying that sort of exercise is the solution. I'm not saying whatever you just blurted out is the right answer. Maybe it is. Maybe it's hinting toward the right answer. But I'm trying to illustrate that. I'm trying to illustrate that this feeling you have inside of you is something that is primal. It's something that is pure. It's something that is it's real. It's one of our first knowledge bodies, right? Is the emotional body. The intellect it's come later in our evolution. Yeah. And so if you're having this sort of deep, visceral kind of gut feeling about something, we don't have to name it. That's bringing the air into it. We just have to feel it and understand where it's trying to point us to. And once we realize once we're able to understand its message a little bit, then we can start figuring out a way to stop our momentum. That inertia, the body emotion stays in motion until it's acted upon by a force, right? So we need to find that force, we need to invoke that force, and we need to move ourselves off of this trajectory, this, direction and velocity that we're going, out of control, right? We need to find something to grab onto. We need to find a way to nudge ourselves in the direction the new direction perhaps, okay? This feels like it's sort of a big moment in your life. Feels like it's a big change kind of happening now. That we're feeling that in our gut, that maybe it's time for a big change. That maybe that's what's going on, is the need for a little bit of a course correction, a little bit, really, maybe not even a little bit. This might not even be just little minor adjustments here, little thrusters here and there. No, it might be like full stop. It might be that we really are, going to shoot our grappling hook onto the nearest star and stop our motion, figure out what we want to do, and then set off in whatever direction we feel is right for us at this point, We're going to talk about the path of the serpent. And as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost anything. And it supports the channel, and I feel that is a very important thing. We need to support all of our favorite YouTube tarot readers, the ones that you already watch, that you value, that you appreciate. Show them some love, all right? I know I'm your number one favorite, but let's just support all of our favorite people, yeah. All right, general energy now. We've got our Two of Cups. Now, I feel like you've always had a bit of a psychic ability, yeah. I don't know. I feel like you've kind of I feel like you've always been able to know things or maybe about people. Like you're an energy sort of reader, I think you're able to look at people or interact with people one-on-one basis, and you're able to know things about them, about their situation, and about what's going on. You can really read the energy. Sometimes when we're very good at doing that, it means it's difficult for us to do that for ourselves, And a lot of the time when you're doing this sort of work, this sort of energy work with other people, you're getting little reflections of yourself too. And I can vouch for that in these readings that I do. When I'm reading your energy, I start to think, yeah, that's true about me too, Because in some ways, we all share of the same divine light. We all have a lot of similarities. We're all in this together. So there's going to be a lot of similarities, a lot of overlap. And when I'm reading energies, it's very, very often, and I'll mention it too in a reading. Like, yeah, that, I can relate to that. I resonate with that too. And so with the Two of Cups, I feel that this is, it's important for you to give yourself that attention as well. If there is something in your life, in your relationships that resonates with you, you have intuitive gifts. And sometimes, especially with this Empress energy, sometimes we've got to turn that back onto ourselves. Okay? And look within this deep waters. This is double water, right? The Queen of Cups. Very deep waters. And sometimes we have to even look at ourselves from outside as sort of a third person. Yeah. Third person perspective, and to see ourselves in that way and really connect. Now, the Two of Cups, all about love. You're a person filled with love, and it goes with your Empress energy. You're taking care of people. You're providing for people. You're able to connect with people in such magnificent ways. I feel like you're a very charming person. I feel that you have the ability to make another person feel as if they're the only person in the room with you. Yeah. You connect with people on that one-on-one level. Sometimes this is the card of romance. Sometimes. I don't know if that's your situation right now. That could be part of what we're talking about. I try to keep it very general, right? Very abstract. But if this is a relationship thing, maybe it's a family thing, maybe it's a romantic, maybe it's a platonic relationship, who knows? You got that feeling that things are sort of progressing in this way, that you've got this velocity, and you're almost ready to panic. You're almost getting close to sort of almost kind of panicking pretty soon, right? And that's the feeling that you have in your gut. And you need to allow space for that. You don't want to just push it down and ignore it and say, no, this is the relationship for me. This is the one I'm sticking toward. There's a feeling there. You got good instincts. You got to trust them. You've got to at least give them space. Okay, give them room. Listen to them. Take some time for yourself. And find out what it's saying. Okay? Because maybe this is a partnership, whether it's romantic, platonic, a business relationship, a friendship, or a family relationship, whatever. It's something that you need to listen to yourself. Okay, and I don't know how to phrase this even, but in some ways it feels like in this situation you're taking care of the other person. Or the other thing, maybe it's even like your boss or whatever, right? That it's just kind of like, in an unconscious level, you're not leaving because you want them to be okay, and you leaving is going to put them in a sort of in a compromised position, in a sort of in a disadvantage, right? That by you going in a different way, by you resisting or swimming against the inertia here, trying to find a way to nudge ourselves in a different direction, is going to put that person in a disadvantage, is going to make them feel some kind of way, right? And your sort of natural Empress energy doesn't want to do that to somebody, right? So again, another example of you putting other people before yourself, it's love, it's compassion, you care. You don't want anybody to get their feelings hurt, or to be, let's say you're someone that shows up every day and you do a certain job, Well, if suddenly you say, hey, my 2-week notice, I got to go do something else, you're putting them in a hard place, because now they got to find somebody else, or they've got to come in and do it, but that's life sometimes, as they say. That's Dallas, So your love for other people can't really always override your instincts or your love for yourself, your self-care, self-love, right? So now we've got the 10 of Swords in the position of the environment. It's kind of like you're looking at the situation you're in and you're thinking, there's just no meat on the bones here. This is a situation that's not nourishing to you anymore. It's kind of hollow. It's empty, right? It's still in place, but it's just barely hanging on. Right? This is the life that's full. This has pentacles. This has cups and swords and fire in it. This is everything. This is like, that's the meal you want to eat. This is just scraps and bones and all the stuff that's not healthy to consume, you know? Or it's not nutritious. Yeah. This is the card of ruin. This is the card of realizing some kind of a. This is realizing a difficult truth, and sort of knowing that we have to go beyond it. Sometimes I say the Ten of Swords is the bird cage. You know, that we're in this. This is the moment where we realize we're in this bird cage, and we're working to get out of it. Okay. And maybe that's the feeling, maybe that's the Queen of Cups feeling, is that I got to get out of here. You know, and if I don't do something soon, I'm going to start to panic. It's like, again, we're out here lost in space and we're just floating further and further away from our spaceship, you know, and it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And we're starting to panic. We're starting to freak out because what am I going to do? You know, do I just, I think as maybe some of us have done in our lives in the past, do we just say, I'm just going to accept it. I'm going to stop struggling against this. I'm just going to close my eyes and just float wherever my inertia is taking me. Wherever this, eventually I'll hit something, you know. Or do we find a way to nudge ourselves? Do we find some force? And I think in physics, it has to be like an external force, you know, that's going to kind of bump something in a new direction. But I think metaphysically, that force can come from within us. And I think that force is our Prince of Wands at the end. See, we have the water in the air over here, kind of uncertain. There's something vague going on. It's still veiled. We're having different thoughts. I don't really know. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna try to stay the course. But something's going on. I don't know what to make of it. Over here, because of your radical self-love, we're now seeing this is very clear. It's not confusing. It's not veiled. Now the heart and the mind are very obvious. Ten of Swords, Eight of Cups, bird cage, and this is a situation that is draining, the water energy. The water's leaking out of this. Pretty soon these cups are going to be empty. Okay, this is the realization that we don't want this as much as we thought we do. We realize what this feeling is. It's the feeling of I'm not good at labeling feelings, honestly. I don't know what this really is as far as the feeling. It's kind of a loss of hope. It feels kind of, it feels almost, not so much a disinterest, but it kind of feels, feels unfulfilling. It feels very, very pessimistic. It feels like if we stay here, we're going to start to panic. This is that sort of queasiness where it's just like we realize what's going on and we know we've got to take action. Yeah. This is the difficult part, is to acknowledge what this feeling is, because over here it's still veiled. This position in the dove and serpent spread is the position of the difficulty. It's difficult to acknowledge and realize that this is the feeling you've been feeling. Over here, it's still vague, not really sure. No, over here, I can see it for what it is. I can feel it for what it is. So we need action. Now, I'm not going to try to put a label on this feeling. You can if you want. I don't think we need to. I think that's the point here, is that the feelings are one of the first knowledge bodies we have, and the intellect comes after. And yeah, the intellect wants to label everything. The intellect is that part of our soul that has the little, like the tape gun with the words on it. We could type your words, prints out a little sticker. Label maker. The intellect is just the label maker. It's just what it wants to put a label on every single thing. I'm going to get my daughter a label maker. That's going to be fun when she gets to use that. She's learning how to read now. She's getting very good. But that's what the intellect does, which is try to label everything. And yeah, that's good. Sometimes we need to be able to put a word to it so that we can talk about it. Well, it feels, feels not good anyway. I don't know, does it feel bad? Does it feel sort of hopeless? Does it feel scary? Does it feel like I got to get the heck out of here? Does it feel like a swamp? Does it feel, does it feel unhealthy, toxic? What is the feeling, right? What we do understand, though, is action. Action must be taken. The final card here on the path of the serpent, it says that you're making a decision and you are sticking to it. And this is finding that internal force that's going to change your trajectory, okay? This is our ability to use our will or something inside of us to stop that momentum and to change our course. It is the force needed to change that trajectory and to combat that inertia. And I'm just picturing that astronaut in space that's floating out into nothingness, and just by an act of will, not by flailing the arms. See, this isn't an earth card. Not by flailing the arms or trying to swim against the vacuum of space, but by some sort of internal force, is able to switch directions, start going back this way or sideways or whatever way you choose. Let's look at the mystery card. The reading's getting too long here. Mystery card maybe should be some earth energy. You know what I want? I want to know where you're going to be redirecting yourself. So I either want I think we should get another 10 of Pentacles, right? That it's going to look similar, but different. That it's going to be your best life again. And it probably isn't going to be exactly like this was 2 years ago or whatever, right? Now, someone in your life is having a lung thing or a breathing problem. Yeah. I don't know if it's you or somebody close to you, a relative, I think, yeah. Anyway, mystery card, yes. I think another 10 of Pentacles. Let's see what we have. It's the Knight of Pentacles. Yes, even better. Because the Knight of Pentacles is the one that has the vision of the 10 of Pentacles. What is your future? What is your best life? What are you looking at? Where is it that you're going? This is the card that's sort of asking that question. What do you see in your future? Who are you? Where are you? What are you doing? Another 2 years or 5 years or 10 years down the road, whatever. This is the card that has the vision of the destination, the vision of the best life. And then, of course, you push yourself in this direction, going toward whatever you see here. See, this is the card of knowing the destination, not really having the route planned out to get there. Okay? I think maybe that comes next. Maybe that'll be the next reading, or the extended reading is figuring out the plan of sort of which route to take to get to our new destination, our new set of goals. Okay? But the first step is to realize that the current destination is not where you want to go anymore. So we have to figure out, okay, where do you want to go? Let's start heading in that direction, and we'll figure out the details as we go. Okay? It feels like a prophecy to me. We're going to do an extended reading as well, Gemini. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Gemini, Mondays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.